Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from, I don't know, I'm from someplace.
Together, the three of us, you, me, boy, we're from Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. We are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back to Tobacco Advent 2018 Day 10. We have removed the Cornament from the Advent tree, and we're already smoking.
Oh, I'm from Tabak-Adventskalender.com. I have that one.
All right, there you go.
I'm from Tabak-Adventskalender.com.
You know, that at one time was supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
We actually had there a list of all the tobaccos we had smoked. It was quite a list. And that was before the Russians hacked you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're smoking today a flake. And I was surprised because usually using the Aristocob patented twist, poke, and...
Pinch, poke, and twist.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
Usually a flake takes a little while to get going, but this one I was surprised that it took one light so far. I may need to light it again now.
Brag about it.
I'm going to. I'm going to pack it in here.
So look at this beautiful hand calligraphied card.
Was that hand calligraphy?
I am pretty confident it was. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this says, Dear MMB, here is a sample of Fribourg Treyer's special brown flake. It is a Virginia flake with a rum topping. I really enjoy this blend, though it can be hard to get. I find it to have some dark, fruity notes. Dan from Washington. Dan, thank you. Seriously, look at this. Look at this handwriting. This is gorgeous. I am super jealous. Also, it reminds me that I don't ever read cursive. Ever. And so I struggled with this just a little bit. I forgot what capital F's supposed to look like. So Fribourg, I had to go Google it just to make sure I was getting it right. It's a long time.
Now the fact that this came from Washington, this is the second one we've had this year from Washington?
Yeah.
For the rest of you, if you don't know this, Washington State has a draconian tax on tobacco, and they are, I don't know if you'd say that they're banning tobacco being shipped in, but they require taxes to have been paid for a company to ship it in. Therefore, companies don't ship tobacco to Washington State. And so it's a real struggle, very expensive. So thank you for sharing this with us, Dan.
I don't think we've talked about this. Maybe this is better suited for Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Or maybe we talked about this last week's Markwood Men's Breakfast Club that we're about to film after this. But have you heard about or have you been
using your time traveling skills?
Yeah. If you didn't see last week's Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, you should go back and see it because we're going to talk about the thing that I'm about to talk about now. We will talk about on last week's Markwood Men's Breakfast Club the Supreme Court case that is going to require online resellers or online sellers to pay local taxes wherever they're shipping their thing, provided that local state has a sales tax. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
And how it has affected or will affect Aristocob.com.
Oh, just me?
Well, I mean, other businesses too, but yes. As we're talking about importing and exporting, that's a good reminder that while we're doing this Tobacco Advent, these videos every day, we are also doing our weekly, normal, regularly scheduled Markwood Men's Breakfast Club Wednesday episodes. Somebody asked us why don't we do those on Cobb Tuesday, and the reason is because.
Well, we started it so long ago that there was no Cobb Tuesday. You know, people hashtagging and posting on Instagram, that began after we started Markwood Men's Breakfast Club quite some time ago. So, sort of like how Missouri Meerschaum refers to parts of the pipe differently than most pipe manufacturers, but they've been making them for almost 150 years, so they went first.
Yeah.
You know, on a pipe, this part right here is the mouthpiece or the stem. Missouri Meerschaum refers to this whole thing as the bit. When on a mouthpiece, just this portion where you're biting is the bit. Beyond that is the button, and so on. There's lots of different names that are referred to on briar pipes, Missouri Meerschaum doesn't stick to that nomenclature. So,
Yeah.
this is why I struggle when we talk about things. And I'll mention the word bit. I only do that because that's what Missouri Meerschaum calls them. It's the mouthpiece or the stem.
Right.
It's crazy.
So, we've always done it on Wednesdays since near the very beginning when we decided to actually do regularly scheduled videos. At one point in time, we did them Tuesdays and Thursdays, both. That was terrible. Nobody liked that. We didn't. You didn't. So, but right now, it's kind of just a habit that we've gotten into. And in fact, just a few weeks before we got the comment, Homer was asking the same question. Should we switch to Tuesday? And I said no. I'm stuck in my ways, and that's what I'm gonna stick to.
All right, good answer. Question of the day. Are you vetoing? We have to hear the question before you veto.
No, it's a stupid question.
Then
Who chose these questions?
What is the question?
It's just not... There's nothing unique about it or special. Complete this sentence. The best way to spend a Saturday in December is... Just a simple... I mean, the way you would spend a Saturday any other time of the year. Clearly, in your underwear, playing video games, or watching Parks and Recreation. Everybody's answer is the same on that. Finish this sentence. Here we go. This one's actually pretty good. Please don't make me read a book about blank. Menstruation. Please. I got to it before you. You're welcome.
Again?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, what would you call that book? It'd be like that Grover book. It'd be like the period at the end of this book.
Gosh. Oh. There go the thumbs down.
Please don't make me read a book about. I'm actually weirdly curious about things, and so I would probably read that book. And probably already have read that book. There's not a lot of things I don't like to read. However, I don't think I would want to read like a Victorian novel.
Right. One of the Bronte sister books.
Those books I've tried years ago. No interest. No interest. Anna, what is it? Anna Green Gables, something like that. I tried to read that because a dear friend of ours, it's her favorite series, and I thought, well, give me something in common. I'll read this book, and it's like, oh no, it was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I don't enjoy reading books that are overly descriptive in nature, that just don't have much action. A lot of the high fantasy novels I find are that way. That I like the content, but I can't just. For me, it's trudging through.
Get to the story. Stop talking about what's in the room.
Yes, that's one I would have a hard time with. Another one would just be. I don't want to read a book about a. I don't want to read a book about a topic that I'm strongly against. Like, I wouldn't want to read something where someone is gushing about opinions that I absolutely disagree with. Right? I mean, there are a lot of books like that. People with different opinions than me have books, talking about how great that opinion is. That would drive me crazy. It would drive me crazy. Maybe a political book or just whatever the position is. Having to read about.
I've done that where I've read books with opposing viewpoints. I've read books with written by authors I thought I shared their point of view, and then when I read their book, I realized, oh my gosh, no, I don't. No, I don't.
And if it was a level-headed presentation, that's fine. But I find that on videos. I'll find myself watching videos or reading blog posts, And as I'm reading the post, I'm just rolling my eyes. And sometimes it's beneficial. It's always beneficial to take in opposing viewpoints.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, reading a book about that would just be terrible. Please don't make me read that. Give me the menstruation book.
Okay. It's going to be another short one. What do you think of the tobacco before we move on?
I really like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's very good.
We just going to sit here and smoke this for a while?
It makes me feel as fancy as the calligraphy the note was written with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dan from Washington.
This is one of those situations where as many videos as we need to get hammered out, I'm feeling sorry that we'll have to put this tobacco out here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Dan was awfully generous. Sent a good amount.
Well,
and we'll be able
especially
to,
with a flake. A flake, a little goes a long way, especially in a small pipe.
I will tell you how I enjoy the rest of
Oh,
this.
will you now? All right, thanks again, Dan, and we'll see the rest of you tomorrow. Make it a great day.
See ya.